What's up, Fox Gang? Welcome back to another FGRolls video. Today we are playing some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and yes, I said video. I did not say stream. I did not say anything. I'm not even talking to chat, or am I? No, I'm not. As you guys can see, the chat box that I usually have is completely empty. And what happened is that we have a sponsorship running right now, and as a part of that sponsorship, every stream has to include gameplay from the game that we are being sponsored by. As a result, it's like I really try to put heavy focus on my YouTube content during this time. So I didn't really want the sponsored content to interrupt this playstyle that I had. And honestly speaking, I think this is a good experiment, because I really want to ask you guys, have you guys liked what we've been doing so far, where we've been having these morning streams with different content? Or do you think maybe it would be better to focus on that content, really making sure that content is a focus of YouTube, and basically just segregate my YouTube content from my Twitch content? Honestly, I'm asking you guys. I also want to see, because I'm doing a couple of different things to experiment with what's going on. So if you guys could let me know your opinions, things I can do to keep on going, and to maybe improve content, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, please, I'm always up for ideas. But for now, we need to get going, because we are on episode 5, Rise of the Ashes. Ooh, I didn't realize we were starting the trial already. Well, this is going to be my first time using mouse and keyboard for the trial. Like, not even kidding, I've never done that before. So, let's see what we get. By the way, hashtag not sponsored by Diet Coke. This is actually just filled with water. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. By gray areas, I think he means we learned nothing. Like, let's just be honest. We've learned nothing about what's going on. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. I don't know why, because I know that these characters' faces are somewhat static, but she almost seems like she's amused by that comment. I don't know why. Good luck, Mr. Wright. I guess it's the shift of her eyes. It almost made her flat look almost look like it had twitched a bit, like as if she was like hiding a smile. Maybe that's just me. You guys let me know what you think. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I had to discover the truth all by myself. Oh, dang, he's right. We've never won a case without Mia or Maya's help. Oh, no. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. I'm kind of worried about that. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Ooh, I don't think we've been in that courtroom before. Wait a minute, this looks just like the other courtrooms. It's always the same courtroom. What's it matter? Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. Man, we must be out of practice. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. Confess your undying love. Go right on ahead. He already knows. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm trying my best to, like, maintain the voices. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen?
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down. Oh my gosh. Is this like with April May and like everyone is just like getting bought in by her? Please, no. I already dealt with one April May. I don't want another. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Yo, I'm kind of with Phoenix. I've never had regular tapioca, so what does pickled taste like? Name, profession, now! Me, the name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating yet.
Hurry it up! Oh my gosh.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. So it all goes back to 2 years. Edgeworth and Lana Skye worked on the same case 2 years ago. Angel Starr has something to do with 2 years ago. So does Marshall. So does the guy who died. It all goes back to 2 years ago for some reason. What? Miss Starr was a detective?
Ah! Ha! I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr.
Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr.
Wait, are they talking about... Wait, what? Yo, this dude. This is a biased judge. Biased judge. I want to state this now. He is obviously on her side. All right, so, okay, options. Hold on. What is my button for pressing? When I sense something. Okay, oh, sorry, I didn't... Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, I didn't see the full testimony, so, okay. I thought I was at the point where I could press the topic. My bad. Okay, so Q is the press button. Got it. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Bullshit!
I'm sorry, I had a bad cough.
Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr.
I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants!
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
You can tell he was tempted. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I'm parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime? When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say... oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets, a greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese on that? Oh, okay. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, then we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only now seeing this photograph?
You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Crime photo added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand.
Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person.
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor?
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Okay, sorry, You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Okay, so I meant to press the one at the end. The one where... Okay. Oh, this is tough, and this is a lot tougher because I don't have chat helping me. Like, as much as I've gotten onto chat for backseating, I'm just like...
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound. We can make it.
You said that before.
Okay, so her testimony is pretty flawless. There's no, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Alright. So, in this case, let me press tab so I can look at my court evidence. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Starr. And yet, the one thing that can be noted is that... Okay. I'm not sure what I can do about this. Okay.
Property of Lana Sky, last call made at 5:18. Okay. Was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches. Prosecutors are by nature. Alright, so let me see. Let me go back and see if I can get, okay, let me think for a second. Alright, through the wire fence, saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Alright, this is tough. And yet... Alright, so this is the car where the murder happened. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. And yet... Alright, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to escape, save, just so, like, we're starting from this point. I feel cheap for saving, but I think it's kind of my only option at this point. But I can't think of what else it could possibly be. Somehow always... Alright, let me think. Saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. I'm gonna press one more time. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before anything else. Scientifically speaking, Miss Star's testimony is flawless. We've already pressed her on everything, so... I don't really have any other way to handle this. Alright, tab... Alright. Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. Alright, so I'm gonna have to experiment here a little bit, so... Then she thrust the pointing tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Traces of victim's blood, no prints. Which is simple enough with the fact that record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot entered at 5:12. I don't know what to... I really don't know. Like, this is a pretty solid... This is pretty solid. When I sensed something wrong, perhaps it was... Okay, alright, I'm gonna have to, I don't have a choice. I have to experiment. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding the knife? Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Splatter. Okay, yeah, that's why I was hesitant to use that picture to say anything, is because it's obvious that that would have had to be an after picture. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Okay, I'm just gonna say objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony, namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. This woman is nuts. And also this food talk is making me hungry. Do not tease the fat guy with food. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ooh. I like this case so far, by the way. This is the most that I've had to use my brain, but it's also the most, like, actual argument that I've seen in this game so far. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder. A serious offense. A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Okay. what if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Arrgh!
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. Gotta think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Okay, so... this is gonna get hard. Was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Investigator's ID. All right. Okay, so this is where things are going to get... very tricky. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. Okay, so that's not going to be very helpful. Okay, sorry, I'm just like, I don't really know what to say about any of this right now. I'm just like, I'm trying to think of something, but it's like we'd have to say that it wasn't premeditated. All right, backspace. Alright, taken after. Alright, so according to this, she's wearing surgical gloves, so that doesn't help. Alright, what could it be? Death due to loss of blood, one knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. Okay, yeah, I got nothing. I'm like, all right. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what to do here, so it's like I'd have to start experimenting. Okay, nope. Ah, my gosh. Oh, man. This is gonna be hard. Because it's like everything else we don't really have anything about, so we need to find evidence that this couldn't have been pre-planned. Alright, King of Prosecutors Trophy given to Edgeworth, at the PD on the day of the murder. Oh my gosh, this is, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That's... That's been bugging me. Yeah, whenever I see that flash red, I know that I have it wrong. I have to somehow figure out that this was not, that this is the statement I have to disprove. Alright, I'm gonna press it one more time just to see another statement. Alright. What if she was just in... Alright. No, this is, autopsy gloves. Alright, this is really hard. I'm sorry that I'm not talking, but this is... My brain is too small for this. I am too smooth brain. Alright. I keep looking back towards the death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Property of Lana Sky, last call made to her sister. The parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Fine, Oh my god, I am so bad at this! Alright, alright. I am so bad at this. This is not going good for me. Alright, record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. Property of Lana Sky, last... I can't think. Alright, so, I know I've gone with the Kings of Prosecutors Trophy. I think I've used Edgeworth's knife. I think I've used the record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow. Yeah, okay, hold on. I feel really bad for doing this, but I'm just like... Okay, so... I felt really bad for doing this, but I don't think that worked out. So I'm really clear on the fact that this was bad. I feel really cheap for doing that, because I want to get this done in one shot. And so, I feel really bad. Alright, so we already know what this says. This has really got me... This has really got me, because ultimately speaking, we have to prove somehow that it wasn't premeditated. Did I actually use the parking ticket? I thought I did, but I might not have. I might have just immediately gone for, Edgeworth's... Alright, so I'm gonna look really stupid for this game, and I actually did have to do a reset. My first reset in this game. Unless... Okay, Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This is the day of the crime. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. It just goes to show you never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light. No, I meant... Did I actually present this as evidence? Okay. No, I did... I don't think there's anything I can say to get through this. I think I've used up all the evidence, didn't I? Is there anything that I haven't used? All right. I think I'm beat. I don't. Okay, so this is correct. I've been going by this knife this whole time, and I was like, there's no way that it can be the knife. Because it's like, oh my gosh. I've been going by the knife. It's like, I've looked at everything, and I just like, I thought, one, that I had already used the knife. And two, I just like, it can't be the knife. Oh my gosh. I really get into overthinking territory. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife? The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? Oh, oops, my bad. The defendant is the chief... Oh, boy. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. That's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Yes! I feel so stupid, because it's like that really tripped me up. Order! 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 Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail, but this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. What? That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office.
It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Well, immediately I can think of one thing, because... one knife wound. Yeah, I already know which thing to really go after here. Again, this lady really needs to learn to only, like, I don't know how to put this, but it's like, she talks way too much. Like, she just really sticks to what she thinks is happening and sticks to that. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise! I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk! He's my hero, really! What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness?
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify!
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. Oh my god. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like a kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance! Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her, challenging her abilities as a detective. Okay. Hold on, there's something about that statement. There's something about this. I gotta look at something real quick. Hold on. I knew it! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Why is Edgeworth helping us? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Okay, this is really difficult. This is probably the most difficult case. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Yeah, I'm with him. Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Alright, so, I don't know. To run behind a partition off to her side. So, where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself, quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet...
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link...
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed.
Would it have taken her a little time to climb over the fence? So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately, my memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
I am so confused right now. Like, this is one heck of a case right now. And, oh my god, we're nowhere near done.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Lana's cell phone updated in the court record. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Always press, just in case. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time,
you climbed over the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance is futile. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Yeah, like that was...
Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime was here. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What could change? Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Okay, well, I mean, that was important. Her picture is okay, hold on. Difference in lighting and distance to the crime. I don't think lighting would be much of a difference. So it would have to be the distance in crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? No, I disagree. This changes what she saw. Because if she was in the security guard station... Hold on, something's not right here. The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Oh, wait a minute, but if it's only 6 feet high, then the guard station, which is above that, she would see. Before I knew what was... I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
For 5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely!
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this?
I always just raise an objection. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente.
I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
Oh, is the judge guilty of something?
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act it this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah, like, seriously, 5 minutes? Do you realize how far you can get in 5 minutes? You can run a mile from the scene of the crime if you're healthy. Well then, it seems we come to the end of this testimony. Either way, it's like she would have been gone by the time, what's-her-name got there. The witness here has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright!
That was too close, no kidding. I had to do at least one reset. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Hold it. Oh, gosh. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off on me.
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker? Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more
This is a bribe! Bribes are illegal in the court of law! We had this!
Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time?
Oh my gosh. What do you have now? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoes. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Oh my gosh, my throat is so dry.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Symbol, as I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed, didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
I mean, I just always pull evidence out of my butt, so, like, what am I gonna say? The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get out of this trial! Why is this a thing? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, arranging and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it.
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with.
Agreed. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I determined the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was awaiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. So this fashionable basket I have here, it carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, press. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up! Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate million types of blood with all, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Skye's.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid she was going to say that. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence.
The problem with this evidence is here.
Where?
Take that finger and point it at your own head, Mr. Wright. Oh god, no, I gotta start over. Okay, no. Ah, guilty! Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Alright, so it looks like I wasn't able to prove it in this particular case. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got completely wrecked, and I should have made more saves, I think. I definitely should have saved afterwards. And I even went all the way to have to go ahead and do a reset, so... with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and have to close out the video. So thank you everyone for helping. Honestly speaking, just thank you everyone for making it to the end of this video. I know it's a long one, 1 hour and 16 minutes. Oh my gosh. But thank you guys for making it to the end. If you liked the video, please don't forget to hit this. Oh my gosh, sorry. It's been a while since I've had to say this, but please don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button and leave a comment down in the comment section below to let me know what you like about the video, what you dislike about the video. Let me know if you like us doing this as a pure video, so there's no real interactivity with the stream, and instead I'm doing this all on my own. I am failing or succeeding at my own pace. Or did you like it better when we were doing it as a stream, so that way, you know, you had other people being able to help out? But anyways, until next time, everyone, this has been Fox Gaming of FGRolls, and I will catch you guys in another video. Signing off, everybody!